All right, welcome back to the channel. Errol Spence Jr. co-signed some clowning on Shawn Porter. We're gonna talk about that in this video, and also a comment that I got from a subscriber that just tells me, man, there's some people out there that really do not understand what's going on in the welterweight division. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, Errol Spence Jr. and Shawn Porter had just had a terrific fight last year before Errol Spence Jr. had his car accident, and Shawn Porter wants to run it back. But in the midst of trying to run it back, Shawn Porter is saying some things that are pretty, give me a breakish type of stuff. Now, when Shawn Porter was being interviewed I believe it was in a press conference or right after a press conference for Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury, which is taking place on February 22nd for the heavyweight champion, for the WBC heavyweight championship. Shawn Porter, who works for Fox Sports as a commentator in their studios, commenting on boxing, said that Errol was asked if he thought that Terrence Crawford was a top three heavyweight, and Shawn Porter said yes, he's a top three heavyweight. Top three welterweights. Yeah, the top three welterweights are Manny Pacquiao, myself, because I beat Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford. Now, we all know that. Now I do believe that Shawn Porter is an elite heavyweight, welterweight. Man, I keep saying heavyweight because the Deontay Wilder fight's on my mind. I do believe that Shawn Porter is an elite welterweight without a doubt. Top five welterweight. I'd say he's a top five welterweight, right below Terrence Crawford. I would have it Errol Spence Jr., then Manny Pacquiao, then I would actually do that. Yeah, then Terrence Crawford, then Shawn Porter. Then you could throw in either one of, any one of three, or Danny Spoolgas, Danny Garcia, or Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman, I don't know when Keith Thurman's coming back, but I think that's a realistic order for me. But clearly, Shawn Porter, the fact saying that Errol Spence Jr. is not a top three welterweight is kind of silly, but there is an argument. So on Errol Spence Jr.'s Twitter page, you can see that he liked with some the usual emojis, so you can kind of, have your hands behind your back, but you're co-signing, behind your back. He says some laugh emojis to this, that somebody that pointed out that not only did Errol Spence Jr. beat Shawn Porter, but Errol Spence Jr. beat the guy that beat Shawn Porter. So how could you be the number three guy, and how could Errol Spence Jr. be the number three guy behind Shawn Porter? The number four guy behind Shawn Porter, if he beat Shawn Porter, and if he wants to, and he beat Kell Brook out in London or in the UK, and got the belt back from Kell Brook that Shawn Porter lost. Now that bit of logic just sounds like too much like right, too easy to understand, but it doesn't keep some people from not getting it. Shawn Porter lost that fight to Errol Spence Jr. and Shawn Porter is better off, in my opinion. Shawn Porter is better off just trying to force the Terrence Crawford fight, because if he beats Terrence Crawford, then he's back in the top three of the welterweight division. But Terrence Crawford is stubborn like that. Apparently Shawn Porter is stubborn like that, because even though Shawn Porter, and this is an admission I'll make about the Shawn Porter side of this Terrence Crawford thing, that even though Kenny Porter has said that, look, if Bob Arum sends us this offer, then hey, we will take the fight, because we sat down, we being himself and Al Heyman, sat down with Shawn Porter and said, hey man, do you want this fight? Or let's make this fight. Or if they send an offer, would you take the fight? I guess is a better way to say it. And Shawn Porter agreed. But that's not the same thing as saying Shawn Porter is extremely, like he's all gung-ho for that. And it's obviously because what he is gung-ho for is a rematch with Errol Spence Jr. or a fight with Manny Pacquiao. But the problem is with that, Shawn, is that you're not going to get it. You know you're not going to get it. So I'm going to keep pushing and hoping that these guys will say, all right, I'm not getting the Errol Spence Jr. fight next. I'm not getting the next Manny Pacquiao fight next. So let me fight Terrence Crawford. But that's not the game that Shawn Porter himself wants to play, and I don't believe that's the game Terrence Crawford wants to play. They just want to wait. Terrence Crawford for sure just wants to wait. I believe wants to wait around, fight whatever guys in front of him that Bob Arum thinks is financially viable situation, whether or not it's a difficult fight, whether or not it is a difficult fight or not. And hey, eventually it'll get to the point where Errol Spence Jr. has to fight me or Manny Pacquiao, or those fights will come up. But the problem with that is that you never know what's going to happen between now and then. And you'd be better off getting as big a fight as you can, the earliest you can. None of these guys are spring chicken. Terrence Crawford is 31 years old. Shawn Porter is over 30 years old. Manny Pacquiao is over 40 years old. Errol Spence Jr., I do believe, is 29 years old. And this year, he might be 30 this year. Or he's either going to be 29 this year or 30 this year. But all of those guys, Errol Spence Jr. is the youngest in his late 20s. The rest of those upper level welterweights that I said are all in their early 30s. So man, it is really time to get to it, man. But I guess, hey man, if you can get guys, a bunch of fights for over $1 million that guys don't really have an opportunity to beat you, I guess you can definitely string a lot of money together that way. There's also this guy, in that particular line of reasoning is why I doubt any of these guys, unless he's mandated, fight Yordenis Ugas. Yordenis Ugas is a Cuban welterweight who fought a very good fight with Shawn Porter. He lost some fights early in his career. He lost to Amir Imam. Somebody said Yordenis Ugas can't be a top welterweight because he lost to Amir Imam. Amir Imam outboxed him. I haven't gone back to look at the fight, but I did notice in BoxRec about the fight with Ugas and Amir Imam that was an 8-round fight. And winning an 8-round fight against somebody as a boxer doesn't mean you're going to win a 12-round fight against them. And Yordenis Ugas is the type of guy that as long as for some reason his style has not changed significantly since he fought Amir Imam. He's one of these guys that really do start wearing on you in the later rounds, in the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th. Those extra four rounds can make a big difference in a fight. And plus, Amir Imam is also somebody that has a lot of pop on his shot. He was fresh. He was a big prospect at the time. Until people figured out, hey man, Amir Imam really doesn't have much of a chin. Hey, maybe if Ugas had found that out, had known that, he might have went, real hardcore after Amir Imam. But Amir Imam's got a lot of power. Anyway, I 100% agree with what the guy said that Errol Spence Jr. agreed to. Now let me address this other stuff with that I kept getting in this conversation. There was a guy that responded to a text that wanted me I said, hey man, Terrence Crawford, he said to me, why do you say that Terrence Crawford only fought bums? And my response to that was, hey, I've never said Terrence Crawford only fought bums. I don't believe that's the truth. Igis Klimas is not a bum. Amir Khan is not a bum. Jose Benavidez is not a bum. And Jeff Horn, nor is Jeff Horn a bum. They're just not top level welterweights. There's a difference between saying somebody's fighting bums and that they're not fighting the top level heavyweights. Dillian White at heavyweight has not fought two of the top level heavyweights. To me, the top level heavyweights, if you just cut it to two, are Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. That's in my and Anthony Joshua. I guess in Anthony Joshua as well. Dillian White has fought one of them. He hasn't fought the other two. That's not saying that Joseph Parker's a bum. That's not saying that. That's not saying that everybody else he fought. But it's not. I better to stick with Joseph Parker with Dillian White. That's not saying that Joseph Parker's a bum. It's just saying that he's not. I don't believe he's a top level. I don't believe he's a top level welterweight. I don't believe he ever was. I thought he lost to Tyson. I thought he lost to Huey Fury, not Tyson Fury. I thought he lost to Huey Fury, and a lot of people thought that he lost to Andy Ruiz. I think he's a second tier heavyweight. I think he's upper second tier heavyweight. But anyway, you get my point. So just for the commenter that left that. There's a difference between the two, man. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. With that, I'm out. Peace.